Welcome aboard, everyone. We're back with another panel review. Some guy, I've got such great ideas. So can we get a panel review of Krazy Kars before I get rid of it? And I thought that's a great idea. I've got some good pictures of the Krazy Kars. But you know what? Before we get started, I just saw this a couple minutes ago. What is this? Are you kidding me? Like, if you're gonna do this, can you at least make the and cover the only, the O from the only on here? Like, what is this? Fast Signs is down the street from the employee entrance, literally 500 feet. Go order a new one of these. This is so, it's a $1.3 billion company. Are you kidding me? But anyway, so Kidzopolis, they actually were pretty smart, and they made all the panels pretty much the same. And really, all of these panels are, if we look at, I don't know which one, this might be Krazy Cups. But you got your ride start that starts the ride, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. These are the magnetic gates, trouble light, e-stop, reset the e-stop, ride stop, and then the panel enable on and off, ride start, and then there's a foot pedal down here that you have to hold, keep your foot on. But that's pretty much how you start a ride in Kidzopolis. You turn the key switch on, push and hold the ride start, it beeps, and you go. But so I hate Krazy Kars. It was my least favorite ride to work at before they put in Hangover. And there's a couple reasons for that. And one of the reasons is you can only put one adult in each car. So the capacity was terrible. And you can only put one adult in each car because they're worn down and old. And so the motor isn't able to handle too much weight in the car. And the way this thing used to run when it first opened is there would be two people working it. And if we can see here, the Great Adventure version, they were just parked waiting to come in, and so they dispatch cars in pairs of 2 or 3, and then the next ones would come in. It's like a coaster train, you know? So while some people are out on the course, you're loading the next ones. Far more efficient. But they don't do that at Great America. And I believe it opened with 6 cars, and now it runs the most 4. But when I worked there, there was some cars that were messing up, and so there were only 3. So you can imagine the terrible hourly throughput that this ride was able to achieve. About 6 people every 5 minutes. But so this is the Krazy Kars one specifically. It's a little bit different now. They finally put a magnetic gate for the exit, so I believe they put the switch right here. But this is to reset the e-stop. Track start. So the way it works is the track start is always illuminated, and if you press the ride stop, that turns the track off. And then the station is separate, and so when you push and hold the button, when you start the ride, the cars all dispatch, and then once they are all out of the station, you let go of the station start, and then they come around and park by themselves. And the way the cars work is there's a sensor on the front of it. It's a photo eye. It can tell if it's about to bump into a car. You can't see it, but if you look at the ride, you can tell. But so all that they do is just dispatch, and then if the photo eyes detect that it's getting too close to the car in front of it, it turns the motor off. And then once it gets far enough away, it'll turn back on. But so speaking of the track start, got some good footage here. So dispatch the ride, put the panel key in, turn it on, and then what you would do is put your foot on the foot pedal and then push the station start. Right here, the ride stop had been pressed, so here's me restarting the track right now. So if you press the ride start while the cars are out on the course, you just push and hold this button and they'll start again. And then you can hear right there, if you listen, I put my foot on the pedal, and that's why this starts blinking and it's ready to dispatch. So if I start push and hold that, they'd all go out. Oh, and there's the photo eyes I'm talking about. So you can see if it gets too close, just turns off the motor, waits for it to go get far enough away again. And then the maintenance enable, all that did is when you popped it up, you didn't have to have your foot on the foot pedal. So if you wanted to run them around and walk with them or something like that, pop up the maintenance enable. You don't need to use the foot pedal. And that's pretty much the same for all of the flat rides. But this bouncer, same as Krazy Cups, up, up, and away. That's the key to unlock the doors. And then raise and lower it. You've got a manual function on this panel. And I don't know if I have zoom jets on here. Must not. But it's the same thing as this one, and it's got this thing too, so you can raise or lower the planes at your will. But I just remember I hated working this ride because it was such low capacity. You know, if you've got mom, dad, and a kid, well, mom and dad and kid can't ride together. Dad's got to ride in one car, and mom and kid are riding in another. So you got one person in one car, two people in another. I mean, and so out of 8 seats, you're occupying 3. It's a terrible ride, and it can't run in any sort of rain because the rain gets in the way of the photo eyes, and then the cars just stop out there. And I remember it was having a really bad year. I don't remember what year this was. Yeah, 2017. It was having a real rough year, and it was annoying because it would always be one car that was moving slower than the rest. And so they'd all pull in, and then, you know, little dopey cars still out here, and so they'd all be pulled in, and people start getting out, and you have to yell at them, hey, sit back down, there's still a car coming in, but people don't listen, so they get out anyway. And so at that point, you're like, what's the point? I'll just let this car come in, and if it hits someone, it hits someone, whatever. And it's terrible. I mean, it probably was a lot better capacity when it first opened. They had all 6, and they'd send out 3 at a time, basically like running 2 trains, because basically Krazy Kars just runs 1 train at this point. Very sad, but it's not a good ride. The Looney Tutor was a way better version of this type of ride. I love the Looney Tutor. Great theming. Out here, you're just driving past poles that used to hold Wiggles World signs, and now they don't. It's not a good ride. No theming, no heart or soul in it at all. It's just sad. But I like training at these rides, not at Krazy Kars because I just never wanted to step foot. But you know, if I'm training, I like the Krazy Cups because that one was super easy. Train someone, all right, turn it on, put your foot down, push the ride start. There you go. And when it first opened, you used to be able to press, and it still was like this on Zoom Jets. You used to be able to press the E-stop, and then to reset it, you just pull it back out. But for whatever reason, Six Flags doesn't like this. They changed it, I'm not sure what year, but a friend of mine who had worked there for a long time, he was the lead at Camp Cartoon at a point, and he remembers that part of the daily startup inspections would you would test the E-stop and then reset it. But for whatever reason, they stopped letting operators do that. And so these 2 buttons have the same exact function. The only difference is if you press this one, you've got to call maintenance out to turn this key switch. Because, you know, can't just let the operators do that. That's too much. Too much. But, yeah. These rides, super simple. Not a whole lot to talk about. And there's me, supervising the Raging Bull, probably hitting tremendous interval back in 2016. Catch you guys in the next one.